So this set is actually one of my favorite sets of Qigong. It's very different from Wuji. Wuji, the slow-moving postures with energy. And I always start my workshops with that because when people feel the energy, there's a validation like, there's something here. And their belief or their intrigue or their curiosity makes their mind enter more where they want to do more. They want to experience what's going on. This set you will not be able to find anywhere. There is a 6 healing sound Qigong, but it's different. This was passed down from a man named T.K. Shi, S-H-I-H. He passed away last year, actually, who was my Sifu's Qigong teacher. And the 6 healing sounds is a prescription exercise of Qigong, so to speak. And you can do these any time of the year. And our body is very, very smart. Emotions in Chinese are not feelings, but chemical states. This is medical. And when we diagnose people in therapy, we want to balance yin and yang energy of the body. And that's done through specifically the 5 elements, which is fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. And each one of those have characteristics in the tongue and the body and the face and emotions and the organs. And we have yin organs, which are really important, and our yang organs, which are not as important, but they're important nonetheless. And one does affect the other chemically, which we wouldn't even realize. Some Western doctors will argue this, but we get great results from it regardless. So just to give you a quick recap on each one, the fire is the heart and small intestine organs. Heart is your yin, small intestine is your yang. And the emotion is overexcitement. Overexcitement, which is, you know, when your body gets so happy or so sad or so angry that your body cries. You want to cry. The body is watering down the fire. It's cooling down the body, right? That's when it's just from overexcitement, not the external factor of it. And if you're doing the heart sound Qigong, it'll help the small intestine as well. Earth. Oh, going back to fire for a second. People who are red in the face, I read you to their face. Did I touch my microphone? Sorry. Those are people who are probably excess fire. And you also know by people who, like myself, I have a red you to my face. They're the people who, they never stop talking, they never shut up. They're excess fire, for sure. And not people change, their elements do change. I knew someone who was very quiet and his father passed away and, you know, he just missed him so much that intensity, that intense emotion, all of a sudden he became this person that just wouldn't stop. And that was a chemical change, that was emotional change, that was an energetic change. So our energy of the body can change. What's dominant also, we have all of them, but we're dominant in particularly one. Earth is worry and pensiveness, which is the spleen and the stomach. Spleen is yin and stomach is yang. And the spleen is where the food's broken down, the nutrients go throughout our body, creating a higher level of an immune system, and the stomach stores the food, blah, blah, blah. And people who have food allergies is usually because they worry a lot. If you think of someone who's always worrying, and all of a sudden the spleen's not working the way it's supposed to, that qi is not allowing it to function, and they have food allergies and they get sick a lot because the defensive qi, which is the immune system, is lowered. So our emotions can change that too. People who never had food allergies before, they have to look at what's going on in their life. There's a lot of times doctors say, I don't know what's going on. What's this, not this, not this. There's this emotional factor that's changing the body. For example, metal. People are in the city. They're always around metal things. And that is grief and sadness. Phlegm is sadness that stays in the body as well. And that's lungs and large intestine. People have depression, anxiety. People are very pale in the face. That is metal. And I had a client who had to have 2 lung replacements. And for all these doctors and all these different hospitals and testing in Canada, they couldn't find out what was wrong. And we found out that her brother passed away several years ago, almost 30 years ago, and that sadness stayed in her body and marinated to the point where her lungs couldn't function anymore. You know, it had nothing to do with cystic fibrosis or cancer or disease. It was an emotional state that just made the lungs not function. It's amazing. Water is fear. So, you know, bladder and kidneys. Kidneys are your yin, bladder is your yang. And, you know, when you get so scared that you pee yourself, you know. And that's the water energy. Dark, blue or black, that's the color. There's people with a dark tinge to their face. And wood, I get a lot on my table, which is anger. And that affects the liver and the gallbladder. And that affects your joints as well. It gives you, muscle problems and tendon problems. And that stays in your body. And it's, again, the body's amazing. If you ever have joint problems, there is gallbladder 34. Can you see that? On the side of the knee here, that if you press, and you don't have to be that accurate, you can use the Qi or just press it, put an oil, certain oils that will help there. That's good for tendons, ligaments, and muscles. Bone marrow, I had to have that for someone, gallbladder 39 by the ankle. So our body is very smart when it comes to doing what it has to do, because our body's meant to heal itself. You got a paper cut. It doesn't stay there forever, it regenerates. So the only way disease stays in our body is through thought, because you're constantly changing that chemical state of your body. That's the science behind it. So these exercises are the 6 healing sounds, and you could do them any season, whether it's height and yang, height and yin, just to balance out the body. And if you have a certain ailment, this can help you as well before you go on to the medications. So I'm going to move back here. So I always start with the 3 breaths here, breathing in, the second breath, and the third breath. So this is the heart sound Qigong. The heart breathing going down this way. Your arms are going to go down like this. Make sure the form first. And you're going to lift up on the ball of your feet. Bring your arms over your head and behind. And then lowering yourself, bringing it down like this. There's also strength at your calves and your tendons and your ankles. Now, if you're having a hard time with that, you don't have to go that high. Or don't go up at all. You can simply just do this and do the sound. But there's many ways you can do this. And the sound is C-O, C-O, C-O. In the back of the throat, like Cocoa Puffs, right? That ongoing. So we're going to do it 4 times. So you're going to breathe in, and then lowering down. Breathing in. Breathing in. Breathe in. Breathe together, breathing in and out. And that's the heart sound. Qigong works the heart and small intestine together. People with anxiety, like even after you're done, you feel this flush of, and it gets right for lowering the fire, getting rid of anxiety. Even if you just hit the sound, if you're at work and you'll heighten and you just take the breath and go, put your hand on your heart, think red, do it 8 times. You'll feel that everything kind of balance out. Kids, hyperactive kids. All right, come here, come in. It's like a game to them. Okay, we go on your heart and go. They do it, and all of a sudden they come down. I have parents do it. It's amazing. So now the spleen sound Qigong. So what you're going to do, watch here first, the form. I'm going to make the letter L. I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to use my right leg and pivot on the heel, making the letter L. I step forward. My foot is pointing forward, just a little left, like a little L stance. And I'm going to bring my back hand around to my hip. And my front hand is going to come up like this. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to let it come down like I'm painting with my hand onto a wall. And I bring the feet back together like this. And again, men, right hand over left, women left over right. And then we'll do the other side. This sound is ooh. If you actually put your hand on your stomach or on your spleen, over here, you can make ooh, and the vibration is actually releasing. It's like I visualize like dust falling off of the organ, just coming off, doesn't belong. I had a student who had an enlarged spleen. He was scheduled for an operation, and I had him do this. He was 15 at the time. He did it every day religiously, several times in the day. And they had, what's it called, post-op before the operation, right? And it was back to normal. He didn't have to have the surgery. He's been fine since. So again, the body is very smart. So let's take our 3 breaths first. Pivot on the right heel, making the letter L. Step forward with the front leg. Back hand goes around to the hip. Front hand's going to come up, breathing in. And we turn it and we say, ooh. Back here, taking a breath. Pivot on the left, sound like a chant when you're all doing it together. Step forward with the front leg. Back hand goes around. Front hand comes up, breathing in. Ooh. Back to the middle, taking a breath. Pivot on the heel, step forward. My friend Stacy in Georgia harmonized with me when I did this last time. No joke. Breathing in. Ooh. Left, right, back hand, front hand, breathing in. Very good. Worry and pensiveness. When you're really nervous or you're like jittery or you worry, what happens is that gets affected your stomach and spleen. And if you, again, without doing the exercise, just taking the time, putting your hand in your stomach, the butterflies in your stomach, and you just go, ooh. So there's nothing left, 6 to 8 times. You might find your body will calm down just a little bit. Also, the very tip of the middle finger, if you press that, even with your thumb like that, and take a few breaths at 60 seconds, it releases what doesn't belong. Metal. Oh, by the way, the opposite emotion of worry is abundance. Worry comes from a place of lack, where abundance is more than enough. Lungs and large intestine is metal. Sadness stays in the body, bad weather. This is the first one I ever learned from my Sifu. I was sick one morning for a private lesson, and I was all stuffy. Sifu, I can't do it. And he goes, come here, young master. And he showed me this one, and I did it a few times, and I was like, whoa. Wow, I can talk, I can breathe. So this one I use a lot and I give away a lot. So let's start with our 3 breaths. So our footwork is the same here. We're going to pivot on the heel with the right, make the letter L. Step forward with the left, leaning forward like a little front stance almost, but that's going to be turned. And the lung channel, come to the side of the thumb here, lung 9, all the way down to lung 1, over here. I keep hitting this. Sorry, Thomas. And I come up over here. And I think of my thumbs as my guide, and I'm going to make a V breathing in like this as I shift back, and then I'm going to throw my palms flat to the ground. And I do it a second time bigger because lungs expand more the second time, and I go right back down before coming in. Now the sound is T-H-H-H-H-U-H. You're going to build this very deep in the chest. Really deep. Like that. And if you smoke, you're going to be coughing a lot. Because, right, we've damaged our lungs and that stays there, and it's releasing what's on there. It's amazing. And all the sadness that we hold in our lungs as well, our large intestine as well. So I think of Looney Tunes when the coyote puts the dynamite and it goes, tss, then boom. It's that same thing. Build that very deep, and it's deep in the chest, like Abbott and Costello. Very deep in the chest. So let's do it together. Make an L with your feet. Step forward with the front. Breathing in on a V. See? Pivot on this heel. Step forward with the right, other side. Breathing in on the angle. Number 3. Yep, right. Step in. My cameraman's coughing. Breathing in. You've been sick for a while. This will be good for you. 1, 2. Last time we're going to do it. Breathing in. Take a deep breath. And relax. Now we're doing each one 4 times, but 8 is a good number to do. In Chinese, 8, infinite number, very powerful number. And at the same time, you can choose if each side is 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, just stick with the even numbers, but that's important. Okay? That was metal. Moving on to water. Water is fright, kidneys, and bladder. So I have a friend. She's turning 95 this year. And when she talks, she sounds like a leprechaun. Swear to God. And her voice is like this when she talks. Hello, how are you? Like this. What's going on? And I think of her because it's very back in the throat, like this when she talks. I'm not exaggerating. And the sound is C-H-W-A-A-A-A-Y. Chway. So you go chway. And I swear to God, I'm going to have her do it, and I'm going to record it one day. It's just reminds me of her all the time. But it's in the back of the throat. And it sounds funny, but you're going to feel the vibration in the kidneys especially. So let's take our 3 breaths. So your legs are going to go shoulder width, and you're going to bring your arms around, and your thumbs are going to press. I'm going to show you for a second here this way, right in your back where the kidneys are, or would be. And you're going to just keep your feet forward, and you're going to turn to the left, turn to the right, balance. Lean back, breathing in, and you're going to bring your arms up, breathing in. You're going to cross your arms going down, going chway, like this, in front of your knees, and slowly come up. And again, men right over left. You have to adjust there. Do that 4 times. Bring your arms around. Breathing in 1. Breathing 2. Leaning back. Arms up. Chway. And I'm doing a full squat in front of the knees here and slowly come up. Take a breath. One, 2. Lean back, breathe in. Chway. One more time. Left. Right. Leaning back. Chway. Hold for a second for the knees and back up, feet together, deep breath. The kidney sound Qigong. Now we have the liver sound Qigong, liver and gallbladder. So anger, people who have a green tinge to their face, right? And anger is a negative outburst. People don't know how to change their emotions because they don't know the other side. So what do you think the opposite of anger is? A lot of people say happiness, joy. I've heard peace. If anger is a negative outburst, what is a positive outburst? And that experience is laughter. That's why people either want to listen to angry music when they're angry, which makes no sense to me, or they're trying to get another emotion, but it's not the other side, and that's why it's not working. I can't make myself happy. Well, you're not supposed to make yourself happy when you're angry, because that's not the transformative side. Same thing with people feel betrayed. Well, they feel trust. Worry and abundance. These are things we come across a lot. Okay? So let's take our 3 breaths first. Okay. So the sound is the front shh. Like they go shh. Like you tell somebody shh, watch the movie, Shh. So you're going to make the letter L with your feet again. Step forward with the left. This time, front hand comes around to the hip. Back hand is called sword fingers. You're going to bring them up and turn it and push forward going shh. There's nothing left. And then slowly bring it back. Pivot on the heel, other side. Step forward. Front hand this time goes here. Sword fingers goes down, and then you turn it. Breathing in and and back. Taking a breath. Number 3. One more. I had a client who had blood work done, and the liver was all over the place, and I had him do this, and they balanced out completely. Again, these exercises are great. Keeps your body healthy. It allows you to sustain. Nothing has to be intensive, and these are all good exercises for your body. When you look at Qigong exercise, even I did martial arts this way and down, well, that's the lung channel, so your breathing gets better. If I came up and down like this, that's your heart and small intestine, right? If I came up and then turned it, well, this is the spleen and the stomach. So again, it's really amazing how you can sustain and maintain and still grow within your body and yourself. There is a 6th sound. So we had 5 elements. What's the 6th one? Well, the yin will be the triple warmer, how the energy runs through the body. We have our 3 treasures, and that's how it moves. It's called triple warmer, triple burner. You can look that up as well. And the yang is the pericardium, which goes around the heart. So this one's a little more moving. I'm going to move back for this one. I'm going to show you this way first. So what happens is I'm going to step with my left. So I turn to my left. And I'm like holding a cane this way, use my fingers like this. As I'm pressing down, and this one I'm blocking the sun out of my eyes. Just like this. And then I'm going to step up and my hand straight down. And the kidney will be crossed, this is straight down, and we come back up. Then I would step with my right, turning to my right. I can go on the ball of the foot here, by the way. And then I will step up here. And the sound is a spread. Liver, triple warmer, spread. Okay? I'm going to move back for this one. Right here, I'm going to do it 4 times. Let's take our 3 breaths first. Leg shoulder width. Step forward with your right and turn to your right. Left hand's down, right hand's on top. Breathing in. And step up, leg shoulder width. And breathing out, coming down. Just like that. That was the practice one, okay? Because I face this way. So now we're going to do the first one. We're going to make the sound going down like this. That's where the spread. Ready, Step with the left, turn to the left. And then back up. Step with the right, turn to the right, left on top. Breathing in. Step up. And back up. Step with the left, turn to the left. One more. Step with the right, turn to the right. Feet together, take a breath. And that is the 6th healing sound. So that was passed down to me from my Sifu. I use them all the time. I rarely get sick, and so do my students and my clients. And they are great to balance the energy of the body. They're not intensive. You might feel very warm. That's the chi coming up. My hands are always warm and blotchy, and that's because the blood's moving, it's coming to the surface. How's yours? Same? Yeah. So my cameraman says the same thing for him. He was doing it too. But Qigong is amazing, and there's so many sets out there. You can look them up, but this one in particular you'll never find. This, Dao Dan Pai, is very hard to find. But there are other ones that are very popular, like the 8 pieces of brocade, or the 18 postures of Tai Chi, or the 13 postures of the Lohan series, Chan Wan Gong. There's so many out there, but there's no right or wrong. Some will be better, obviously, like in our forms. But what happens is, especially when it comes to healing, the methods are a guideline, but the intention is always going to be the forefront. And that's how Qigong can help you maintain your body, sustain your body, keep your body healthy on an energetic level, a medical level, a scientific level, and a mental and spiritual level.